everybody, I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia.
Today we're taking a look at a brand new game of sorts from North Star Games called Nature. Mm-hmm. Now the reason I say of sorts is because Nature is in the series that originally was called Evolution.
I don't know if it is in that series, because nowhere does it say that, but it is clearly based on Evolution, yes.
Which was published by the same company. Evolution was originally published overseas, and then North Star did some major development, made a new version, and then the original company, there's a lot going on. Evolution had many evolutions.
It had a lot of versions of Evolution. There many. There were more than 5.
In my eyes, this is clearly a restart to that. It is its own game, which we're going to go over. And so I want to make that clear. The other thing I want to make clear is Nature, if you backed it on Kickstarter, was shipped with 5 modules in a big giant box. We're taking a look at the box you can buy right now. Those modules may possibly make the game better, worse, change it dramatically. I don't know. This review, we're taking a look at base game only. I want to take a look at those modules, but that will be in the future where we'll do that. So here's how it plays. We'll be right back. In this game, players are going to be taking 4 rounds, and in each round, they're going to be introducing new species. When you introduce a species, you'll take one of these dials here, and you're also going to take one population. Now, these dials go up to size 4, which is roughly the size of an elephant. But they'll start at size 1, and then you'll have 1 population. Players are also going to be getting a handful of nature cards, and they're going to be using these cards to upgrade their species. Now, you can discard a card to increase the size. You can also discard a card to increase the population. You can do this multiple times. So maybe I have 3 population and a size 2. You can also play traits on your different species. You can play these cards. You'll play them face down until everyone has played them and then reveal them after that. You can also, as a free action, take a hunter card and play it on your species. When you do that, you'll flip it over to show that they are now a hunter rather than a forager. After everyone has done this in turn order, you'll reveal the traits. And in fact, the rules say that you can all simultaneously do this if you want to. Now, the size of each of these creatures is going to be mattering when it comes time to eat. In turn order, starting with the first player and going clockwise around the table, you're going to pick your species, and they're going to forage here if they're a forager, or they're going to hunt other species if they're a hunter. Foraging is pretty simple. The size of your creature, plus any bonuses that you might have down there. None of these do that, but Claw lets you eat an extra 2 food, or Social lets you eat an extra 2 food. So I would take 2 food from here, 2 of these plants, and put 1 on each population. I couldn't put more out, so if I only was size 1 population, I would just take 1. There's still someone unfed, but now play goes to the next player, and food will be taken from here. At the beginning of the game, you'll put a card underneath here, and at the bottom of each card is an amount of food, and you'll put that times the number of players worth of food in the middle. And when this runs out and it comes time for me to forage, if there's no food to forage and I have nothing else to do, I'll have to starve one of my population. Now, if someone's a hunter, they're going to hunt other population, but you can only hunt people who you can take down. So you'll see Clawed here adds 2 to your attack value. Your value, you have an attack and defense, and it starts as your size. So this would be a 2-2. If I was Clawed, I would be a 4 at attack and 3 on the defense. While this creature might be plated, which gives them 4 defense. So as long as you're bigger, you can eat one of the opponents or even your own creatures. You'll take out one of them, turn it upside down. If it has food, it's discarded. And the size of that is how much food you'll get in meat on top of your creatures, if, again, you have the room to do so. And then you could put meat on top of them. There are other benefits that can be triggered, like, for example, this opportunistic says, after any of your species, foragers, or hunts, eats 2 meat if there's still plants in the watering hole. Or this one says, when a watering hole becomes empty, eats 1 meat. You can also, if you have any leftover cards, before your turn, discard them to add that much food to the watering hole that you can then quickly and hopefully eat. So players are going to go around taking turns. You can have one species eat at a time, going around, and if you have nothing to eat, you'll have to starve them, and until everyone has eaten or not. Then all the food that you have eaten that round is going to go behind your shield here, will be worth 1 point at the end of the game. Anything that all your, dead creatures are going to go, and if all your creatures die, then the species is basically, they are eliminated. They have gone extinct, and you'll put that by your thing. You'll get a new number 1 dial at the beginning of your next turn with a number 1 population. So you can have up to 4 at the same time, but if you have an extinct population or more, all these numbers would add to your new one, and any of your dead creatures' population will be added as new population for your new species. So you're going to do this 4 times. It's going to get more and more hectic each time because there's more species competing. And at the end, after the 4th round, you'll add up all the food tokens that you have, plus points for each of your species that has not gone extinct. And whoever has the most points is the winner. All right, so I will say I like the art on the cover a lot. I like the art on the cards, and I like the big snow leopard beast we're starting.
Yeah. And I like the box size, too.
It is
I
a
was
good box
expecting,
size.
when I was seeing only the artwork out there for the cover and whatnot, I expected a larger format box, but it's pretty small. It's very compact.
It is a bigger box if you get the Kickstarter one with all the modules, but also it has all the modules in. I'm not as big of a fan of these little tuck boxes that hold all the pieces. They're okay. The ones that hold the dials are really nice, actually. But I have to have rubber bands on mine so they don't fall apart in my box.
Yeah.
But the card quality is good. Northstar does a good production. I don't think, though, as a whole, it works as well.
The production?
Yes, on the table.
Okay.
The table presence seems a bit lacking. So some minor things. So the card that you stick under the board, it's like, this is how much food you add every turn. It's really tiny font, that food thing. The food itself is okay looking tokens. And you have 4 different, after 4 rounds, you're going to have up to 4 different species. And you kind of are just spacing them apart.
Yeah, it looks a little messy, doesn't it? That dial that represents the size, and then tokens next to that represents how many of that thing are alive. Cards somewhere near that. You're right. It's a little shapeless on the table.
And it doesn't matter too much except for when you're playing with the predators, because I'm like, I would like to attack your thing. Okay, what's your size? And so I'm looking, it's not easily recognizable.
Yeah.
There's this, how big is that? Well, this is 2 plus 2 plus 1, so this is a size 5. Well, this one has fast. You didn't see I had the fast thing there. Unless you're fast, you can't catch me no matter how big you are.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of that going around the table, asking everybody that. And I just feel like it could have been done. One of the later iterations of Evolution had really nice boards with cubes that track this stuff. You're getting it in a smaller box.
Well, yeah.
So that's the trade-off, right?
Sure.
But for me, that was slightly an issue.
Yeah, I think for me, you're kind of hitting the nail on the head there, and this issue that I'm having kind of crops up again and again when you say, oh, a previous iteration of this game did a better version of this one thing. And unfortunately for me, I find that to be true across the spectrum here, certainly when it comes to the production and the game looking a little bit messy and, not looking great on the table, but just how captivating the game is and what's going on in it and the various ideas implemented. There is a version of this game out there already that does any one of those things, in my opinion, a little bit more interestingly. This, unfortunately, comes across like a group of people who locked themselves in a think tank with Evolution, or any one of those versions of the game, and developed and refined and suckled out the marrow of this idea and eventually come back out of the think tank and present to you this thing that feels anemic by comparison to what's been out there before. yes, there's only 6 kinds of different cards, and there's only 4 things you can have, and only 4 rounds you will play. The whole thing is this weakling of an idea that has been refined, and then they kept going. That's kind of where I'm at with this one.
Now, I do believe, as I said at the very beginning, I don't 100% disagree with that, but I feel like some of that's on purpose because this is a skeleton on which those modules are going to sit. When you add the dinosaurs in, it's going to add 6 more cards to the. It's 8 in the original game, but whatever. I just don't want that internet commenter going.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I was guessing.
And we have a couple promo cards too, but if the dinosaur adds more, and then the flight adds more, and another mechanism. Now you're only supposed to play with 1 or 2 of them because it would get crazy unwieldy otherwise. I would probably only play with 1 at a time, but I feel like this was streamlined. You know, the head was shaved, so you could put any hat you want on it.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that into account. The problem with that, and I'll argue against myself here, is you go to the store and buy this, you don't know that necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy the most vanilla version of a game and then be told, well, it really gets good when you add other stuff.
Sure.
That being said, I think this does work very well. Let's take evolution out of the picture, which, again, is hard to do. But on its own, I do like the concept a lot. I think you can wildly change the game by determining how much food goes in that middle. Mm-hmm. You put in 1 food per player each round. Everyone's going to be a predator. Everyone's going to be eating stuff. Or they'll be saving cards to throw stuff out. But then you got to make your guys gigantic so no one else eats them. And I like that. I like that back and forth. So I want to be a predator, but being a predator isn't necessarily better. And scoring is really easy and clean.
Yes.
So I like those concepts, and I also like the potential. And I know that I'm trying not to judge it on potential because, again, as of right now, I was doing this. I played this several times, but I've not played any of the expansions.
Yeah.
But I plan to. I mean, I'm planning to play Dinosaurs soon. Try it out, right? That's the one I'm most excited about because I like dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's Flight that's been out before. I don't think Dinosaurs has been out before in one of the iterations, but maybe I'm wrong. I also don't know what's in there.
Yeah, so, I haven't really, I briefly looked at the rules for those, and they look interesting. On its own, though, what would you rate it?
I'm giving this one a 5. I celebrate the idea of going back to the well on something. It's been a while since Evolution's been out. To be fair, Evolution had a very rocky history in which they came out with a version, then very quickly sort of supplanted that version with one that was somewhat compatible, but not really. Then there was a Target version. The one I really, really enjoyed was Evolution Climate, that I'm sure one of these modules includes, and that is there was climate as one of the aspects of the game, and based on the card you threw in the middle, it would not just add food, but also affect the climate. If it became too hot, the bigger creatures suffered. If it became too cold, the smaller guys would freeze. Interesting stuff, very interesting sort of evolutionary concepts that maybe because I'm comparing it to those games, this feels, again, anemic by comparison. Plus, I find the gameplay, even excluding that in my head, sort of obtuse in this game. I still have a really hard time with this idea of they're this big, but this one guy, your tribe can eat 2 because they're size 2. So you put it on 2 different guys, but if you have a single guy, he does not eat 2 piles of vegetables. I'm like, why not? He's enormous. No. He still eats 1 little leaf. I'm like, that makes no sense. I have a very hard time with that idea. I still just can't quite grok it.
I get it, and I definitely, you're not the only one I had. That was a
it's a mechanical...
Mathematically, it makes sense. Just like the catch-up mechanism in this.
Which is ham-fisted for sure, but...
Your guy got eaten. His spirit
imbues the entire next species. Yeah, I find it obtuse and clunky and a shadow of its former self for me right now. Will I throw in extra stuff and love it? Maybe, but as of this box right now, it's passable. It's a 5.
All right, I've had mixed reactions when playing this. Some people enjoyed it more than others. It definitely was all over the place. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. I'm giving it a 7. Realizing that part of that 7 is the potentials.
Yes.
Which I'm just adding in there because they're there. And I like that idea. I also like that it's not long.
Yes.
It's pretty quick. And on the 4th turn, when you have 4, you're like, oh, good, there's not another turn. Because this would get very convoluted.
4 rounds is good. 4 rounds is good.
I almost wonder if it would be okay with 3 rounds and start with 2 creatures.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. Because 1 is very basic. You're kind of just getting started.
You're kind of warming up, yeah.
But I do enjoy it. I think it's a good starting point, and maybe this is the perfect game for mass market. Although I do worry that some people are going to struggle with what you did.
Yeah.
Which is, okay, this is a size 3, so he eats 3 food, but there's only 1 of them, so he just eats that 1 food.
Right.
Wait, should I have made it a size 1 and have 3 of them?
No, because they still only eat 1.
But then, right, but you go around 3 times.
Yeah.
But then they're more easily eaten by other people. So that it's an interesting concept.
Yes.
And there might be ways to mess with the game and break the game, or maybe it's so balanced they're not. There's room to explore, and that's just in the base game. So I'd like it. I'm hesitant. I'm curious to see what the future will bring on it. But right now, I find it to be enjoyable. So there you go, folks. That is Nature. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you liked this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.